Fresh package in the mail, as you can see there. It's the rg35xxH, and came with a case. It has a little purple accent, a little piece in there that's fallen off. It smells pretty bad, but that's nice they gave us a case. That's neat. But let's get to the main shebang, the rg35xxH. Now, I wasn't really anticipating it coming here today, and I had both kids, so I don't tell my wife, but I found like a 3-hour compilation video of Dr. Squish, and they're just upstairs watching it. It should get me at least an hour and a half. But you know what? If Dr. Squish is watching, hi Dr. Squish, maybe we can do a collaboration. What did we get in the box? Well, we have a handheld, screen protector, manual, all your basic stuff, and it looks to be a cord. There goes the resale value. Yep, just a basic USB-C cord. I gotta tell you, I really like this new gold inlay on their boxes. That's pretty slick. What color did we get? Ooh, yeah, transparent white. Normally I'm not a huge fan of the transparent colors, but that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Before we do first impressions, let's take the screen protector off. Wait, I want to get that satisfying noise. Ew. Tell you what, that's a nice screen. It's I think it's the same exact screen as the 35xx Plus, and same guts as the 35xx Plus. So you're gonna max out a PlayStation, a little bit of Dreamcast, DS. I would just treat this as slightly more powerful than the 351 line. Ergonomics. Oh wow, those shoulder buttons are very clicky. Not a huge fan of that. D-pad feels nice. Standard switch sticks, not too bad. Face buttons are nice. I like start and select. That's decent placement. You have your SD card 1, SD card 2. These little rubber guys on the back. I tell you what, since this is a transparent case, you can see all your components in there. You can see a little bit of the glue for the battery, but it's not nearly as bad as some of their earlier models. I tell you what though, these transparent cases are really good for taking color. That was something a lot of people did with the 35xx. And another cool thing about transparent cases, when you're taking it apart, you can see where the clips are. So you're less likely to snap something. Let's see. So yeah, first impressions, really nice size. Those shoulder buttons, I hate that. I really hate those shoulder buttons. Listen to that. Good Lord. Compare that to the XX Plus. Sounds like a computer mouse. I think the closest thing I would compare it to, both specs-wise and size-wise, is the 351P, which I really like this. This is a little bit wider screen, which will make it better for Game Boy Advance. Although this 3.5-inch screen, it's fine for Game Boy Advance, but the 351P was more suited for it. Otherwise, it reminds me of it in a lot of different ways, even down to the same clicky, noisy shoulder buttons. So I'd say your closest comparison would be to 351P, or maybe just a plastic version of the 353M. Let's see, I did most of the buttons. Looks like you get your volume rocker on the side here. You have your headphones on the top. I don't like that. You have a reset button up here. HDMI out, which is neat. 2 USB-C ports, and your power and your reset on the side. Now mine only shipped with 1 SD card, which is kind of atypical. They normally send me with 2 SD cards. I tell you what we'll find out right away is if the second SD card from the 35xx Plus is cross-compatible. Oh, it's so loud! This is the same operating system that oh, God. Wait a minute. Firmware is from 12.19. That's good. I don't have to go through the arduous process of fiddling around and updating. You can go in here and do your RetroArch settings straight from here. You can do your network stuff. Let me connect to Wi-Fi off camera. Well, I connected the Wi-Fi. I also connected Bluetooth, and that was really easy to do. I just connected this generic controller I have, and that's really easy to do. So if I did want to consoleize this, I just plug it in an HDMI port and connect a Bluetooth controller, and away I go. That's actually really cool. That's something I very rarely, if ever, test for these, but the Bluetooth settings were right next to Wi-Fi, so I gave it a whirl, and that works pretty good. Don't have to configure anything either. Otherwise, this looks pretty much the same as the 35xx custom firmware. You have your game rooms and your RA games, so you have standalone emulators and you have RetroArch games. I'm going to turn this off real quick. I'm going to put in my SD card 2 from my 35xx Plus and see what that does. So let's see, what do I do? Just start, back out, settings, shut down. Yes, shut down. Goodbye. Goodbye. Not you guys at home. We still have a lot to do. While I put the second SD card in, I checked the one SD card it shipped with is 64 gigs, so that's the same as the 35xx Plus. It has the operating system and your basic ROM set. As custom firmware matures, and Garlic and Batocera and Mini UI and all that stuff starts to become available on here, I would probably just get a 16 gigabyte card for your operating system, and then maybe 128 for all your games. That's probably all you're going to need. Maybe 256 if you are a crazy person that has to have the entire PlayStation and Dreamcast library, but 128 for your second SD card should be fine. Let's go in and see. Yes, when you have two cards, it'll tell you that you can pick from each card. I just noticed the little Bluetooth icon is up there, which, yes? So it automatically connects to your Bluetooth device when it powers back on, which again would be pretty cool if you were going to try to consoleize this. I'm going to turn that off though. So your 3D intensive PSP games, I mean, looks like it's running at half speed, but it doesn't actually feel too bad. It's not great, but it's playable. I would not use this as a PSP machine, that's for sure. But it plays okay. Whoa! And he's dead. I wonder if it's saying FPS 15 because I have frame skip on. I wouldn't buy this for PSP, but if you get it and you want to play some PSP games, JRPGs, anything that's not super high intensity, it should do an okay job. And just walk away like nothing ever happened. Oh, you want some of this too? I'm having a real rough day. I gotta tell you, the ergonomics on this aren't bad. I mean, it feels very, very similar to this. And this is already a very ergonomic, very nice handheld. I mean, this is playing pretty close to 60. Well, as soon as I said that, it dropped down to 50. Dreamcast performance on here, not too bad. You're kind of limited by the size of the screen for a game like this, but not too bad. Obviously, you're going to play PlayStation games on here fine. I'm enjoying the ergonomics of it, honestly. As much as I am a vertical handheld guy, just for pocketability, this one, it feels better, really. You better kneel to the princess, you jerk. PlayStation, as expected, runs pretty good, but I'm going to keep saying it. The ergonomics of this, I think, are intriguing. Just because you're combining that candy bar form factor with your proven quantity, as it were, in the 35xx line. Price is going to play a huge part in this as well. I died. They're saying this is going to be around $65 when it first comes out. And if that's the case, then you got yourself a really good bargain entry-level handheld right here. Especially with the hope that hopefully Black Seraph will get over his pneumonia and get Garlic 2.0 out, and the other developers like Mini UI or Batocera, they will get their stuff together, and then you will have a variety of options for this chipset, which, I mean, stock OS is not great. I've said that before with the 35xx Plus. Stock OS is not good, but it does the job and it gets you into the games relatively quickly. As a bare bones entry-level device, still pretty good. The notion that you'll have custom firmware hopefully coming pretty soon is just kind of a bonus. It's the cherry on top. What else do you want to go through? We got a whole bunch of arcade stuff. The unfortunately named H-Brew. This is all of Moses' games. Get it? Heck, let's do some Game Boy Advance. In the default ratio here, you're using most of the screen, which I like. I keep telling you guys, my name is Zoo. Just remember it. There we go. Basic puzzles are no match for me. We did it. I mean, I legitimately just got distracted and forgot that I was doing a video and started playing Sonic. Ergonomics of this, the feel of it, the screen of it, I think they've got themselves a winner, especially for $65. Play some Game Boy Color on here. I love that noise. I mean, the fact that there's a ridiculously compressed GIF on here for Game Boy Color, for Phantom Menace, you gotta be impressed. Is that Duel of the Fates? Oh my god! I forgot that even was a thing. That's amazing. The speakers on here are pretty good. Man, that's a banger. This might be my new favorite Game Boy Color game. Get over here, Sebulba, or whoever you are. Crap. Steady, Zoo. I got cocky. Oh, get wrecked, dude. Pathetic. You lost to like an 8-year-old boy. I'm a 40-year-old man, but in the game, it's an 8-year-old boy. Oh man, it's my jam. Dun 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 dun. Copyright strike incoming. Do a little bit of DS. Having both screens on this screen at the same time, no matter which way you're doing it, not ideal. I would probably just switch and have your main screen as your main screen. But honestly, this ain't bad. I mean, for your single screen games, you're using almost the entire screen. So any of your DS games where it's really the second screen is more of a quality of life thing, your maps or you have your inventory, you could really just dominate DS on here. And I know it's the same size screen as the 35xx Plus, but I don't know, just something about the fact that it's wider and you're holding it like this, it makes your brain think that it's maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. Like the 35xx, to me, just looking at it, I know they're the same size, right? I know that they're the same size, but just looking at it, this one seems longer, maybe more of a square, and then this one seems a little bit wider. But it's not. It's not. Whoa. I like that he makes zoo noises every time he does something. Eh. And he shoots. Let's do it, Gary. Well, I'm really bad at this game. Am I supposed to lose? I feel like I feel like I'm supposed to lose. Or am I just saying that to make me feel better? Maybe I'm not supposed to lose. Dang it. I'm not very good at this game, but you know what is good is DS performance on here as far as single screen games. I'm really enjoying this. I guess it's time for everyone's favorite. What did we learn? We learned that I just took a chunk out of my wall. We learned that the 35xxH is honestly just a horizontal version of the 35xx Plus, and that's a good thing. Price point, $65-ish when it launches, and it will launch very soon. But $65-ish. That is a really good price for an entry-level handheld that'll get you PlayStation, some PSP, some Dreamcast, and with great ergonomics and an okay to middling operating system, but with the almost certain, knock on wood, almost certain advent of custom firmware for this, I think it will really improve. I know that the Botticera custom firmware that they're working on is squeezing out a lot more performance than you would get on stock. So if you want this and you're like, man, I really do want to play a lot of Dreamcast, heck, you know what? You might be able to get it. Ergonomics of it are amazing. It's, to me, extremely reminiscent of the 351P. The only thing different from my untrained eye between this and the 35xx Plus is the analog sticks. So hopefully, any custom firmware that comes out for this with some very, very minor tweaks, it should be able to work on here. Don't hold me to it, but I feel like that's not a stretch. So you will have some custom firmware, hopefully, coming for this to improve the front end and a lot of other stuff. You have Wi-Fi, you have Bluetooth. Consoleizing it, that would be amazing. I don't know if I should do a follow-up video. Maybe Ace will do it when he does his in-depth review. We can consoleize it. But I mean, you just plug your micro HDMI port out, and theoretically, you got everything on your TV. And as we showed with this little Bluetooth controller, it worked pretty good out of the box. Didn't have to fiddle with it too much. I didn't have to fiddle with it at all, really. I just held down the button and it saw it. And I said pair, and it said, hey, you got a controller. So besides my impressions on the ergonomic and the feel, I really, those are loud. I don't know if there's a way you can open this up and I don't know, put tape under those or something. But those little micro switches, good lord, they're loud. They sound like a mouse. I don't like it. Anywho, that's all we have for today. We will have an in-depth video coming out on this, hopefully pretty soon, and definitely some more videos as custom firmware is dropped for this and for the 35xx Plus. So if you enjoyed the video, like it and subscribe to our channel. We're getting more and more subscribers, which is kind of neat. And stay tuned. We're going to have all sorts of fun stuff, more wall-to-wall coverage on the 35xxH, and of course, we're going to be going to the Consumer Electronics Show in the next week or two, and we're going to have all sorts of fun through the rest of 2024. So subscribe and stick with us for all of our latest and greatest crazy nonsense. Whoa!